And apparently we're live 2.0. Is that it? Is that it sorted? Are we good? I don't know what happened. I really hate how YouTube does live streams, by the way. Can I just say it's terrible. Yeah, can you hear me, guys? I did turn it off and on again. Yes, Liam, I literally was streaming for the last 6 minutes and then it crashed and died. But yeah. Right. Okay. So, hello Bruce. Hello everyone again to Stream 2.0. Oh god, right. If it dies, then I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna touch anything, and then, you know, I'll just hope it works again. Yeah, I clicked stop stream, but on YouTube, but because it's not it's not like Twitch where you just press stream and it starts going live. YouTube, like, to stream from OBS, which is what I'm doing, so that I can have custom audio, custom everything, and screen capture live. You have to create an event, like a stream event, which is why it comes up in the like subscriber feed beforehand. So who knows what the deal is, but yeah, you can press F to pay respects on stream 1.0, which will now never go live. Just gonna private it because that's stupid. But yeah, so how is everyone on this magical stream 2.0? Oh dear. Right. Hopefully that's working. I did remember to set it so that it's ultra quick, ultra low latency mode. So hopefully that's working. Is it working in low latency mode? Like, what's the deal? What have I got on for review? Wait, is it happening? Are we good? Is everything alright? Are we still live? I don't know anymore. Let me check. Why don't I just check the live page? Okay. Yeah, right, good. It's still fine, and latency seems okay. Right, good. Okay, yes, so what have I got on review? I've got a few bits. I just actually did a cable management guide, of all things, for my, for my actual desk, because the cable management inside the PC is terrible anyway, but, you know, the actual desk is the worst thing. So that could be potentially interesting, but the most interesting one for most people, I think, will be next Friday, which is the 8700K versus the 1800X in streaming. I do have to mention, as Steve will likely know, that those results were with an ASUS motherboard, which by default, as I've recently and as of basically yesterday found out, that ASUS and a few other people have decided to basically, I guess if you want to call it overclocking, auto overclock the CPU. So yeah, mental. What have we got here? Stream okay, good. Hectic week. Took delivery of 5 NVIDIA compute servers. That is still very impressive, Steve. So if the stream ends and Jason who is hacking us because it's Friday the 13th tomorrow. But yeah, down under, that's today. Jesus Christ, what time is it, Mervyn? Like, it must be, you're talking to, was it like 7 or 8 AM there? Are you watching this in the morning? That's crazy. So Martin, I actually spoke to ASUS today, and they, or at least the UK guys, didn't know what the hell was going on. Why are you up at 5 AM? I mean, thank you for spending your 5 AM watching the stream, but, you know, geez, 12:30 AM? Okay. I mean, that's still pretty early. You start work at 5? What do you do? I mean, saying that, I'm sitting here as a self-employed idiot that gets up anywhere between 8 and 12. 11 PM, nice. So that's only a couple hours ahead. Those trailblazing Aussies living in the future. Machine operator, okay, fair play. That that makes sense. Yeah, I'm one of those idiots that, you know, gets to wake up whenever I want. Hi Steve, how are you? Is that right, Ishmael? Yeah, sorry, to get back to Martin's comment, yeah, ASUS, the UK PR team don't have a clue as to why the boards have the multi-core enhancements. It should be off by default, as far as I'm aware, but some ASUS reps have said it's meant to be on by default, and some have said that it's meant to be off by default. But I think because of the backlash from it, they're doing a BIOS update which will turn it off by default. What surprised me the most was I actually asked Intel pre-launch, or at least Intel's UK PR team, to like tell me exactly what the all-core boost frequency was, and they specifically quoted me 4.7 gigahertz. So when I was testing the 8700K with the ASUS board and it was running at 4.7 gigahertz all cores, I wasn't surprised. Steve, the problem comes with when you so the chip can support it, but my chip was running at 94 degrees Celsius. So that's, I mean, you know, you're talking about potential damage to the chip, at least to the microarchitecture at that point. So or at least, you know, longevity issues. So that's potentially an issue. And also the other problem is that because that's not technically an Intel standard, having it on by default means that me testing on an ASUS motherboard will give significantly different results to someone testing on a Gigabyte or an MSI or an ASRock or whatever else motherboard, which means that as we've seen the comparison, you know, Hardware Canucks had a result similar to mine, 1579 or something on Cinebench multi-core, whereas others had like in the 1279 kind of range. So that's a fairly significant difference just because of the motherboard you have. So it's something to bear in mind. But yeah, you should be able to make a cup of tea at 92 degrees Celsius. Well, it was 94, so it's even quicker. Bruce just found out that CSGO is the only lagging game. Ryzen PC, Rise of the Tomb Raider running smooth. Sometimes I get 55 FPS in some places. What settings do you have with CSGO? That's not something that I had an issue with, so I don't know. Anonymous TV, no, I don't have a friendship with you. I don't know you. But Gadget Joe, sure, don't say why not. Hello Monax, how are you? Yeah, so that's the multi-core enhancements. But yeah, I am still working on trying to revise some numbers, at least to get a better understanding of what the chip at completely stock does. So yeah. So Bruce, what's the average there though? Steve, it seems that the ASUS boards have better quality capacitors than VRMs compared to Gigabyte. There are other check channels that are reporting stability issues when multi-core enhancement is enabled. Okay, cool. That's like, for me, I didn't really have much of a problem like stability-wise with the chip, so it was like that was. I wouldn't say that I had any issues with it, so it's something that I feel like it's a little bit disingenuous of ASUS to add that and leave it on by default. I don't know if it is a mistake. If it is, fair enough. But yeah, it feels a little strange and is just annoying for me because basically every comment on that video is, "Oh my god, I can't believe you left the multi-core enhancements on by default," and people like threatening to unsubscribe because I said that it's not actually overclocking because. Does it matter what you call it? But still, like, at least to me anyway, overclocking is when you choose to make the chip go faster. But whatever. Who cares? Who cares what you call it? But yeah, so. Also, Bruce, 250 FPS is what I get with a 1080 on CSGO. I know that there is an FPS maximum command line code that you can run, which like somehow does something magical, and with the exact same hardware and the exact same settings lets you get like 500 FPS. But yeah, F2F Tech. I agree with you. I just didn't know that that existed, and especially because Intel told me that the max, the boost clock was 4.7 gigahertz. The all-core boost is 4.7. Then I was none the wiser to this being an ASUS trick rather than that. So yeah, and also just on the note of the average consumer having it left on, if they don't have. No, I know you're not attacking, I'm just kind of clarifying, but for the average consumer having it turned on, there's going to be a considerable portion of average consumers that have Hyper 212 Evos on their 8700K and stuff like that, so that's like, I was basically testing with something like that, and it was running at 94 degrees Celsius, so I don't know that, like, perhaps if maybe you could even have some sort of advanced feature where obviously you could turn it on manually if you wanted to anyway, but if you had the you know, all the motherboards come with water pump headers nowadays, so if you had the water pump header powering a pump, then it would automatically turn that on. That might be a somewhat sensible approach for ASUS, because then you would know that you at least have minimum 120mm liquid cooling on there, if not better. So perhaps that's a way to do it, but I don't know. I feel like it should be disabled by default, and then just tell the users about it and say you can get X better performance from your CPU by clicking this one thing in the BIOS. Like, that's how you should do it. Oh, weekly Clockers plug. When am I doing another stream? What do you mean, like stream like this, or stream like game stream? If you mean stream like this, next week I do actually have actually it is a sponsored stream next week, but it's going to be basically just the same as this, but sitting here will be Andrew from Gigabyte, so that won't get confusing at all, because there will be two Andrews sitting right next to each other. But yeah, it will be next week, next Thursday at 8 p.m. UK time. But yeah, if you actually, guys, just to note, if you have any questions regarding Z270, and even I don't think the 1070 Ti will be out, so I don't think he can answer much, but if you've got any questions about Gigabyte products in general, but especially Z270 stuff, leave them in the comments or hit me up on Twitter, because we want to get some of those beforehand so that we've got stuff to talk about in case, you know, you don't have any questions at the time. But yeah, if you have any stuff, then yeah, that'd be cool. Ben, you went to the toilet. Nice. But yeah, next week. I think that's a question for Intel and not necessarily Gigabyte, Ishmael. I mean, we can certainly throw it on. I will copy and paste it and pass it along to Gigabits. Casual Gamer, hope you make a comparison about the 7820X and the 8700K while streaming and recording. I still have both of those chips currently, but I don't know that I'll have them for long enough to do that. So yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll see. Mervin, your pump connector doesn't reach the pump header. That's and Ishmael, no Corsair plug. I don't have my Corsair mug today. Where was I? What's the minimum AMD Ryzen 1700X temperature with no active game or software? I mean, it depends on a cooler, but the lowest temperature you will get it, unless you're using liquid nitrogen or anything else, is going to be ambient temperature, so whatever temperature your room is. I would say with a standard water cooler, you're probably looking at 30 to 40 degrees Celsius with the 1700X. I mean, I can check what mine is at if you really care. Good old Windows noise. But yeah, I can check, because I mean, apparently I'm using 19% CPU utilization doing streaming, but for God's sakes, shut up. But yeah, you have a Hyper 212 LED turbo. Yeah, so like it's I would expect that to be in the sort of 40-ish, maybe 45 degrees. So I've overclocked mine and I'm using mine, and it's currently at 65 degrees Celsius. There you go. Ignore the miles bit, meant to send it to someone on the other monitor. What do I think of the H500P? I love it. I'm hopefully going to get one. I've asked for one and they said that they are sending me one, so that should be good. Do I like banoffee pie? I wouldn't say that it's my favourite, but I wouldn't say no to it if you offered me a slice and I was hungry. Ben, can I turn up my volume? Because my volume's full, but your voice is a bit faint. Sure. Is that alright for everyone else? Turned it up a little bit. Did I? Have I answered everyone else? I know a game, but it's only for tablets, called Bowmasters. Cool. Ben, what's the dealio with that? Was that for someone else, or are you replying to someone else as well? I don't know. Where am I? Do they make extension cables? Who are you referring to there? Oh, what, like for Mervyn with this pump connector? Yeah, it's a standard 3-pin or 4-pin fan header. So yeah, just like so snap. I can't read that. Thank you for saying the volume is fine and then retracting your message. It's all good. New build, should it have RGB or no RGB? Come on, Jonathan, you know the answer to that. Yes, Mervyn, sorry, I forgot that you were the one who said that. Yeah, so yes, they do make extension cables. It's just a standard 3 or 4-pin fan header. I know that you can get fan splitters and stuff like that, and the length of the cable shouldn't really be an issue. Realistically, if you can plug in your pump to a normal header, it's still going to be fine. There's like it still works, but it's there are some features and stuff that the pump headers have that might be a little bit better. So that might be a little bit better for it. So if you want to splash out the $2 Australian or whatever that it costs to get an extension, then it's cool. Air cooler or AIO cooler for my 1700 using the Cooler Master Masterbox 5 case. Can't mount a 240mm on the top. I mean, if you want to overclock it, then go for a thick 120. Or doesn't the Masterbox allow for stuff in the front as well, like radiators in the front? Is it Masterbox 5, right? I'm pretty sure that has. I'm pretty sure you can mount a 240 in the front if you wanted to. Come on. Yeah, you can. I mean, like just looking on. Have we got this? Have we got this? Yeah. On Codemaster's website, you've got the radiator mounted in the front there. I know you can't do it on the top, but you can mount 120 in the back, or you can mount 240 in the front. So should be all good. See you, Mervyn. Enjoy work. Enjoy your machine operating. I'll see you hopefully next week. Fireman Sam, hello. I'm surviving. I'm still in pain, but I'm off some things on painkillers. And Rick Sanchez, good name. You sold your 295X2 for 515, but a Vega 64 for 479. Good decision. For 479, that's really good, because I was at Overclocked UK yesterday and they were selling Vega 56 for like 520 quid or something crazy. So yeah, that's a pretty good deal. How much is that 1080 these days? I realized that because I don't buy hardware. Until I do a review of something, I just don't know the price anymore, which is kind of terrible. Right, so you got it for a decent bit cheaper than most 1080s. So yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, and you got some cash spare, so sweet, nice one, man. How can I contact you? How can I contact to private video? I mean, I'd have to see what, like, you've got to provide something to me, you know. It's I mean, you can email me if you want to. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, do I know Roblox tech? You should really play it. It's right cool. I played Roblox when I was 12, maybe 13. I stopped when I was about 15. Yeah. But yeah, I'm too busy playing Pub, Rocket League, GTA 5, and video editing. To be honest, I spend most of my time video editing. I mean, I am a little bit ahead now. What am I? If I count that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos. I'm 8 videos ahead, and I'm gonna have another video done tomorrow as well. So, yeah, I'm a little bit ahead on videos. Yeah, Roblox is that Lego type game. It's multiplayer. You can build stuff. There was a load of, like, back in the day, there was a lot more stuff. There was a lot more like sort of challenges, and you jump into people's worlds, kind of like Minecraft, but online. Only online. Well, I suppose you could download the client, but you could play it in browser too. Anyway, how old am I? 20. Yeah, Rick Sanchez is correct there. Even though the teraflop number is similar, it's a single card, so it's considerably better. Generally speaking, I don't recommend multi-GPU setups unless you just want to, like, splash your cash. If you care about performance, get the best card that you can afford. Don't try and buy one now and think, oh, I'm gonna, you know, buy a second one later and get better performance, because for at least until DirectX 12 is commonplace, it's not gonna, like, SLI and Crossfire have to be implemented well, and even if one is implemented well, it doesn't mean the other one is. So you kind of rolling your dice there, and it's also just a pain because it doesn't work on most games. So hopefully that answers the question, MDS. Gadget Joe, you feel old. I apologize. I mean, to put it in perspective, we're in a similar amount of pain. I'm just considerably younger. You stick to real games like Minesweeper. Nice. GG. Ah, dear. Actually, I know a couple of other people have turned up. Next week, Andrew from Gigabyte is going to be coming over and being on the stream. So if you got any questions for Gigabyte about Z370 or really any of Gigabyte's products, leave them in the comments down below, and I will send them over to Gigabyte so we have some stuff to talk about. And feel free to make sure that you're here next week as well. So yeah. That is a lot of thankfullys. Thankfully, Project Cars 2 is crossfire compatible, which is all you play, so fair play. I did quite well in Project Cars 1 because I got a Logitech Driving Force GT wheel, which is really nice. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I don't have Project Cars 2 yet, although I would quite like it. What's the main difference between 1 and 2? I really have, besides knowing that it exists, I don't know much about it. Ben, what character do I play most in GTA? I play Franklin the most, but I play online most. Fireman Sam, an extra one. Thank you. Rick, if that is your real name. The VIG 64 is a good card. Set its frame target to 60 and turn on chill, and it plods along nicely and steady. Yeah, I mean that is kind of one of the things that, well, it's all well and good benchmarking cards to see the maximum FPS they can get. When it comes down to it, and when it comes to the real world, especially if you only have a 60Hz monitor, doing exactly what Rick said there, it just, you know, setting the frame target to 60 or just turning on Radeon Chill is a perfectly decent way to go about it. It keeps the power consumption down, cools the card down. So, yeah. Put your glasses back on. 2 is what 1 should have been. Okay. What's the handling is totally different. There's a much more track and weather details implemented. Graphics have been improved. Nice, cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I would say that the handling was in any way bad, but I think I'll definitely have to take a look at Project Cars 2 and see what the difference is. Like, give it a shot, because I had a lot. I mean, I realized that my Driving Force GT originally wasn't set up correctly, but I was still winning all of the championships even though I was putting it on hard. And I realized that I didn't even have a brake. I was just engine braking the entire way, but because the engine braking, because I started in the kart series and worked my way up, and yeah, I realized that I was engine braking on the karts and winning all the races anyway. So, but yeah, the Driving Force GT is a nice wheel. My father dearest got it for his PS3 like 10 years ago or something crazy. So yeah, there are better standard setups than 1. Force feedback settings are far simpler, nice, and they do you do multiplayer like online. Fair play. Memes for life. You are 14, aren't you? Nah, that's cool. Yeah. So how has everyone else's week been? Thanks, man. And also, what games have you been playing? Obviously, Project Cars 2, as we've been speaking about, but sorry, the classic Minesweeper and Roblox. But what else has everyone else been playing? You're playing Excel at the moment with loads of paperwork. Nice. That is the pièce de résistance of of gaming. What was the first GPU that I bought myself? Yours was the 512-8500 GT. It was the dog's balls. Nice. Mine was actually an HD 6870. Sorry, AMD Radeon HD 6870, the 1GB model. I then bought a second one, and then sold the second one. Seriously, what's this question? I'm pretty sure that your computer has a calculator for that, or you could just Google it. It's 1 point something. With the launch of Middle-earth, Shadow of War, you've been playing the first game, Shadow of Mordor. Nice. I've seen a lot of people actually like playing the new one, so that's quite cool. Did you really forget, Ben? Bruce, I have a question from Gigabyte. They don't take faulty board after warranty period, even though I'll tell them I'll pay. Took my faulty board to 3 local PC stores. One of them stole my backup BIOS. They stole it? Really? That's surprising. Yeah, I'm happy to pass that one along. I mean, I might kind of clarify that question a little bit, but yeah, happy to have them answer that. Make sure you stick around next week for the answer, or of course there'll be the archive afterwards anyway. So that's all good. Homework killed your life. Fair enough. I mean, there is. Put it this way: when I was 14, I didn't do that much homework. I do still love the only official qualification that I have for computing is, I think, a D in A-level computing, because A-level computing was nothing about computers. Like, I mean, it gave me some foundational understanding of how computers work and stuff like that, and it gave me a rough understanding of programming languages, but it was generally pretty bad, and the teacher, as I've said before, actively came to me and asked me about tech and asked me about like how what computer he should buy. It was specifically what Chromebook should he buy. So like stuff like that. I'm like, okay, you got an E at GCSE level in computers. Nice. Do you actually work in a related field, or is Fireman Sam a hint? Gigabit boards have 2 BIOS chip. They took what? They actually took the chip? Really? That seems crazy. Banty T, A-level, Bangarang, I do know the song. A-level in computing, my friends learned how to code in Visual Basic. That's interesting, because when I took my A-level in computing, I was learning Pascal in the program Delphi, which, as Wendell described it, is a programming language for people who want to end up teaching programming languages. But yeah, it gave me some foundational understanding of programming languages, but its overall actual use case and function was limited. So yeah, I did try and do some Java stuff. I tried to do some C# stuff, actually. In fact, my actual like coursework program for computing actually ended up writing in C# because I couldn't be bothered with Delphi or Pascal. So yeah, I kind of self-taught C# just that I could do my computing project. So their teacher is basically a meme. Okay, fair play. So is mine. I think all computing teachers must just be memes. And I wonder what the cause and effect sort of relationship is there, because like, if you like, at what point in your computing life do you go and teach computing at a college? Like, what would drive you to go to that as opposed to what is essentially a more lucrative field of just programming, or, you know, taking it further and getting a degree in, you know, component design, that kind of stuff, like electrical engineering kind of stuff, where you're actually well, see, Ishmael, that's kind of the thing, is that they don't seem to be able to do. So inherently, I guess you're right. But you are also very right. C# is basically Java, at least from what I've like written in. So yeah, I mean, I suppose it is an easy life. But lecturing, I'm mostly talking about sort of A-level stuff. So that's more not that serious cash. I mean, he was the head of IT, so, or like head of computing at the college, so he probably wasn't doing too badly, but yeah, and I suppose you get a lot of time off, so but the kids, exactly. I was a little actually, saying that, there's, sorry, this is turning into me telling you about my life, but so there's this website called Edmodo, where it's basically a Facebook for school, where the teacher creates a class, and then they make you sign up with this referral code, so that you automatically get entered into that part of the class, and then, or that class, and then they assign you work, and you submit it, and they can grade it and leave comments and stuff like that. And in theory, it's an interest, like it could be a useful thing, if it wasn't so blatantly copying Facebook, but. So I used inspect element in the web browser to change his username to something that I can't say on stream, and he came over. He looked over my shoulder, and bearing in mind, as I said, this is the head of computing in the entire college. He said, "Is that permanent?" I refreshed the page and said, no. But yeah, so that's my schooling history. That's probably why I didn't go to university, isn't it? Hello, Just Shunt. How are you? Also, to go back, I saw a comment on Project Cars 2. Where's it gone? I can't read today, apparently. Nope, can't see it. Either way, awesome. Yes, I should. How much is Project Cars 2 actually? Is it still like full price, or can I like get it on offer on Steam? Let's see. Project 45 quid. Okay, guys, I'm gonna need you to sign up for my Patreon so I can afford to play this game. Oh god. I should just add it to my wish list, and then when it goes on offer, I can afford it. Where's the wish list button? Add to my wish list. Cool. Get it from CD keys. That's a good point actually. The only thing is that I have £21.47 in Steam credit, so like buying it from CD keys would cost probably more than if I bought it on Steam at full price. So wait for the Steam sale and get it for a $5. Exactly. Have I played the Star Wars Battlefront beta? I did. I only actually played like one space battle and then uninstalled it because it was kind of boring. I think it's cool that they're reviving it properly and they're adding like new stuff to it, but like new characters and stuff. But I think the nostalgia is just too hard for me because I was literally like the 2 games that I played on PS2 for like 5 to 8 years straight was Need for Speed Most Wanted and Star Wars Battlefront 2. So yeah, I don't know. You still got Steam credit until you build a decent rig. Fair play. You like the RGB laser guns? Okay, fair play. Ishmael, I don't actually have it fully set up yet, although I do want to. Actually, there's something that I want to mention. If you haven't seen on my Twitter, because I rant there a lot, I actually had a video not demonetized, but not suitable for all advertisers. Please request the thing. Where's the demonetized? Yeah, so if I just send a screen, so I had this video which is a motherboard review. It said it wasn't suitable for all advertisers. I did request a manual review, and within 4 days, I think it was, it had remonetized itself. But the fact that it flagged a motherboard review that I didn't swear in it, it wasn't covering a controversial topic, there was nothing in the tags or the thumbnail or the title or the description or anything that was even remotely close to, you know, not suitable for advertisers. It was for an Intel chip. So yeah, I'm rather annoyed by that, and also with the fact that I have to like buy stuff like wheelchairs now. That's also fun, and just generally a bit more support, because clearly YouTube isn't going to be there. I think I'm gonna sort of start one up. I do have one sort of semi set up, so I need to do a sort of opening video and that sort of stuff. So we will see. Just to jump back on some of the comments, After Effects, what do I use to edit my YouTube videos? That would be Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. I really enjoy the dynamic link, so being able to just drag After Effects compositions in, or take just snippets of clips from a Premiere timeline and import them into an After Effects composition, which replaces that piece of the clip in the timeline with like 2 clicks. That's really nice. I hate how terrible it is for stability and RAM management. It's utterly terrible for that, but it is still a fantastic program and does a really good job. I also use Adobe Media Encoder on the PC upstairs. In fact, actually, I think that video is going to come out. Tomorrow I've got a video on my rendering setup and what happens when I finish filming a video, so that might be quite interesting for you as well. Bruce, one of your friends is getting a heart operation. It's going on for 4 hours, still waiting for the result. Sheesh. Well, good luck to them. I hope that they pull through and all that. Yeah, sheesh. Whew. Where are we? Krabby Gamer, quick question. My sister is in a research center. I have a budget of about $1,100 to do a build of a whole system with a powerful CPU. I suggested a 7700K. Would you say any other CPU? So you say research center, you need a powerful CPU. can you give an idea of exactly what they're doing? Because if it's purely CPU based research, like if it's purely you only need a CPU and you've got $1,100, then like blow it all on the CPU, like get a Threadripper 19, well, you only got budget that, so the 1920X is probably the best one for that sort of price point, I think. With one of the cheaper X399 boards, and just like buy the cheapest GPU you can get and a decent like 500 watt power supply to go with it, and 32 gigs of RAM or something. But yeah, it depends what you're going for and what you need, because if you're actually doing heavy CPU based research, then a 7700K is pretty terrible. It's not terrible, but like, yeah. Thanks, Ishmael. That's awesome. Where are we? Andy Lloyd, do I prefer ultrawide monitors or 16:9 for gaming? Purely for gaming, I actually really like ultrawides. I personally prefer the 1440p models where you've and especially the the AOC one that I did with the 100 Hz. That's beautiful. And if I didn't have a 3 1080p monitor setup, I would have that on my desk. And I'm trying to work out how I can get that on my desk because I really want it. But yeah, so that would be my personal. But overall, like standard day-to-day use, ultrawides just aren't quite like the OS doesn't really support ultrawides that well, and a lot of content doesn't support ultrawides that well. So I don't know. Purely for gaming, still ultrawides. Where are we? Our report out loud. Fair play. Ishmael, 4 days, but then the interest is cooled down. Exactly, that's the problem. I think I got a few hundred views in the time that it was demonetized, which isn't a massive deal. That's like 30p if at most kind of thing. But it's even as a matter of principle, that's really annoying, and especially when you get videos that are on the the larger side, and especially the that are being launched and are getting like considerably more views. That can start to actually genuinely have an effect, especially when there's nothing wrong with the video at all. And the fact that the YouTube bot is a complete untrained idiot, and they rolled that out to the public, like they rolled that out to the actual creators, I think is kind of insane. I don't know why they didn't, like, I know they were trying to recoup from the Adpocalypse stuff, but the fact that that they rolled a completely untrained bot out into the public that's actively destroying the creators that make YouTube happen's revenue, and the fact that they have a sweetheart deal with like big Hollywood production companies as well. Like, come on, YouTube. Like, I get that you're the big guy now, but you do realize that it was creators like me and all the other, even people like Philip DeFranco and Casey Neistat, all the big people, small people, everyone in between. All of us are the people who got you to where you are, right? You know that, right? So, they do have many massive hard drives, Jonathan. So yeah, Mac TX, I kind of agree with you there. Where are we? With the current Intel versus AMD wars, what would be the most appropriate choice for gaming only? You have an FX 6350 and would like to upgrade. If you're purely gaming, then actually a last gen i5, like the 7600K, that's going to be the best choice right now, because it's the best value for money. And if you don't care about doing stuff like streaming on top, you're getting a fantastic chip and you're getting it at a bit of a cut price right now. That's going to be the best shout. I mean, if you want future proof, then something like a 1600X or the 8600K are both great shouts as well. Is 3700 USD too much for a good gaming PC with a 180Hz monitor, GTX 1080, and along with the... No, well, yes, it's too much. Like, I reckon that you could get all of that for less than that. To part that out, the 1080 is going to be what, maybe $600. If you really want a 7700K, if you want a 7700K, if you're looking at 180 Hz monitor, 180 Hz monitor is going to be what, $600 as well, so that's $1,200. 7700K is going to be another $300. So, well, add a motherboard on top and add some RAM on top, call that another $1,000. So you're only at like $2,000. Add the chair, $2,500. All the other bits and pieces, even if that's another $500, you're still only at $3,000. So, yeah, I would say you have about $700 to spare there. Hello, Jesse. How are you? Snostenrap. You'll be playing around VirtualBox when not gaming. Ryzen 1700 OC'd or 8700K. What are you doing in VirtualBox? But as a general rule, I'd probably say the 1700. I mean, I'm personally running a 1700X and I'm perfectly happy with it, so yeah. Ishmael, I know Wendell's Space Co monitor arms are definitely his potion of choice, but they're really expensive. Like, I can't afford that. Like, the monitor arms to replace this monitor stand with Space Co ones would cost more than like two of these, in fact actually potentially all of these monitors combined, just to get enough Space Co monitor arms to attach to the desk and have the ultra wide plus these three. Like that's the sort of price you're looking at for that. I mean, he he does have a whole business to support his tech habits. Yes, he does. Can he make it? Can he make the shot? He made it! Woo! No, he started his business before like Tech Syndicate and stuff. At least I'm pretty sure, anyway. So, yeah, but he basically has a business to support his tech habits. Yeah. You need a powerful CPU of $600 in Mobo with future compatibility. Already bought RAM sticks, 32 gig. Yeah. So I mean, if you left pure database processing, but can have fit to actually build a whole system excluding the monitor, CPUs of like $600 cannot seriously increase budget. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm also not entirely sure what that sort of workload entails, and if that's going to be better on single or multi-threaded applications. Like if it cares more about IPC and clock speed, or if it cares more about having a load of cores to munch through. I definitely recommend, if you're doing database stuff, then as much RAM as you can get. But honestly, I mean, again, this is one of those things that I should probably just Google what the price is, because I don't know. But yeah, what's the 1920X pricing? £729. So yeah, you're probably looking at about $700 as well, or maybe $750. If you got 1,100, yeah, okay. I mean, maybe. Then in that case, grab an 1800X. And a ASUS Prime X370 Prime board. That's probably the best one, or even B350, and get more value for money, and 32 gigs of RAM will be okay. You could go for an 8700K because you'll have the higher clock speed. Just make sure that you have adequate cooling for it, and if you do go with an ASUS board currently anyway, you'll get a bit of a performance boost. So yeah, I mean, if you got $1,100 to spend on a full system, but you need a heavy CPU, then yeah, an 1800X or an 8700K. Yeah, good choice. It'll be on well out too, so it won't catch fire. Yes, the 1700 is probably the better choice there. True, his Google storage farm is a bit mental. I'd love to be able to go dumpster diving like that, but I just don't have, like, where do you go for that sort of stuff? I don't have the sources. Thanks, Jonathan, for your insightful comments on downloading more RAM and needing the biggest hard drive. Oh dear. Oh gosh, it's almost 9. Crikey. X370 would allow for a newer chip later on, maybe 3 years later. Yeah, potentially, although I don't know. I know that they're planning on supporting older generations, but especially with new feature sets, stuff like PCIe Gen 5, stuff like that coming out before they refresh the socket. You might still see, I expect you'll see newer motherboards, but you might see newer chipsets as well. I think they'll just be backwards compatible, which is something that Intel really sucks at doing. Krabby Gamer, no worries. Yeah, those would be my recommendations. Feel free to ping me an email if you need any more sort of suggestions. But if I get an understanding of what sort of workload specifically it is, and if she knows if it cares more about single-threaded and like clock speed, or whether it cares more about multi-core. Something flashing in the stream. If it's like tearing, I know that exists. I don't know how to fix it. It's something I can see it on the preview window, and I can see it on the final stream, and it happens on recorded videos as well. It's really freaking annoying, and I've searched far and wide on the Googles to work out what the problem is. Most people just are complaining about their drivers, like their NVIDIA drivers and stuff like that, which are all up to date, and everything else works. It's purely just OBS. So unfortunately, I don't know what I can do. I might try over the next week uninstalling and reinstalling OBS and seeing if that helps, but Fireman Sam in with the RGB punch. No, actually, my RGB stuff is off. I mean, technically I do have an RGB keyboard here, but it's set to white, and it's been set to white since I've had it. Which kind of defeats the purpose of having an RGB keyboard, but you know, I kind of like I like the ability to play Snake on it, even though I don't. I like that I know that that's there, you know. Oh, the pretty lights. You're gonna wait to upgrade, but with the GPU prices and the lake of 8th gen CPUs, you're gonna wait until after the new year. That's probably quite a good idea. I suspect that prices for a lot of stuff will come down. Hopefully the mining craze will slowly kind of fizzle out. I mean, I haven't personally like turned on or mined anything in a while. Just because I couldn't be bothered. Basically just wasn't worth it anymore, so yeah. But yeah, hopefully it does, because this is a fantastic time for hardware. It's just a lot of it's expensive right now, which is annoying. Hello Emmy, how are you? Oh, hello Pablo, how are you? I wonder when Cannon Light comes out with the new type of laptop I've never seen before, small and powerful. I think I hope that we see stuff like 6-core or 8-core laptops, like with a low enough clock speed. A Ryzen 1700 or something could easily go into a laptop sort of setup there, especially one of the like thicker gaming ones. So I don't see why not. And hopefully with the new Raven Ridge, I think it is Bristol Ridge, Raven Ridge, the new AMD Ryzen APUs. Those could actually be quite interesting for stuff like laptops as well, where you're getting Ryzen class performance on the CPU and you're getting somewhat decent GPUs as well. So, yeah. HA, hello, how are you? It's been a while. Saw you at Insomnia, right? Any news on something more powerful than the 1080 Ti? Nope, I don't expect to see that until probably the end of next year. Asus have a Ryzen 7 laptop coming out soon. Nice. Yeah, that was it's a Ryzen laptop with an RX 580 in it, isn't it? I think, if I remember that, if I remember rightly. HA, the newest NVIDIA release that I know of is the 1070 Ti, which obviously isn't what you're looking for there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're looking at probably like March, April for the next launch. At least that's what I understand, like the Volta launch. And then you probably won't get anything actually like fully more powerful than a 1080 Ti until probably end of next year. I'm interested to see how AMD responds. I know that they're already working on a new Vega card. I mean, they were probably already working on a new Vega card as soon as the old Vega, the first Vega cards were out. But AMD have generally always been on the hotter side of graphics cards. They've also generally always been on the many generations ago they were you know, tying with Nvidia, but especially since the market share dipped, there's a fairly significant performance gap. I know this got it real close, but still, you're still looking at matching a 1080 when there is a 1080 Ti and a Titan available that go on top of both of those. So yeah. DDR4 prices to stop me from upgrading. I have heard about that. That's kind of mental. That's a long wait. I just don't feel like you can justify a 1080 Ti for the performance needs unless I invest in something cheaper now and buy something else later. I mean, what are you like? What system? What's the rest of the system, and what resolution are you gaming on? If you're gaming on 4K or something, and like with a 7700K or whatever, or actually any CPU really, then yeah, fair play. 1080 Ti is probably worth the investment. But if you're gaming on 1080p or even 1440p, a 1080 is probably alright. I mean, it depends what you want to do. I mean, if you're playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, then you actually need 14 Titans. But 140 burp, 1440p, 140 Hz plus. So you got a PG279Q or something like that, and probably a 4K system. Yeah, I mean, 1440p, 140 Hz is probably worth the difference, but yeah, don't know. Up to you, dude. Right, well, it's officially been an hour, and that's generally how long I bother to do these for. Does anyone else have any sort of last minute questions, or are we all good for next week? Also, as I mentioned, I know again a few more people are here, but next week Andrew from Gigabyte, that's going to be confusing, is going to be here to answer all of your questions about Z370 and just generally anything Gigabyte related. I've got a couple of questions already, but if you've got any questions for him, leave them in the comments like before you go, and we can pass those along to make sure they definitely get answered. And otherwise, just make sure you're back here next week, same time, same channel, to check that out. So, yeah, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, or feel free to tweet me if you think of anything across the week. Feel free to ping me there too, and we'll get those sorted. So, yeah. 1080 Ti is worth it if you're looking for high refresh rate gaming. Have a good evening. Thanks for another successful stream. Thank you very much. Have a good evening yourself. I have not tried Shadow of War. I've never played Shadow Mordor either, so I don't know that they're necessarily my style of game. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you all next week with a special guest that will be sitting here, and yeah. Otherwise, we'll see ya. Now to dive through the 14 layers of encryption to get to the stop stream button. See you, man.